Alright guys, welcome back to Oddball Motors. In this video, I'm actually going to show you how to temporarily or semi-permanently fix your turn signal stock on your Merkur XR4TI. As I stated in a couple other videos, this hazard switch in here has a tendency to just kind of disappear, turn to dust, or whatever to make it non-functioning. So what ends up happening is when the ignition is on, all the power runs to the hazard switch, and since there's nothing to actually disengage or set the prongs right, the power doesn't go to the turn signal switch, so the turn signal switch doesn't work. There's a couple different solutions. I find mine to be a little bit easier than some of the others online. Through testing and stuff like that, obviously using a voltmeter and figuring out what contacts to what, we found out there's normally a back cover here. You would have to rivet out. You would have to actually use a Dremel tool with this rotary bit to actually cut that rivet off. And then there's a cover that usually covers these. You take it off. Found out that these two actually need to come in contact with each other in order to put power to the turn signals when the ignition is on. So this simple solution can be the fix to your turn signal switch. Now, I had to go a little bit further because when I did this, for some reason, left still wasn't working. I couldn't figure out why. So, come to find out that deep inside here, how this whole system works, if my camera will focus in on it. Oh, we got focusing for a little bit, and then there. Oh. Here, let's move that out of the way so that way it stops focusing on that. Screw it, I'll just take the damn thing apart. So I had to rivet out, I had to Dremel out both these side rivets here so that way this whole system can just kind of pry apart as long as you're careful. And then how this system actually functions is when you turn the turn signal one way or another, it has this little doohickey right here. I don't exactly know what to call it, don't know the actual term for it, don't really care. And what it does is you have this little teeter-totter here. It actually makes this teeter-totter go back and forth, touching on contacts to signal the left and right turn signals to go. So something to look out for, because it just sits in there, is these contacts here. You got one right here and one right here. Sorry, move it so the camera can see. They can actually have a bunch of carbon on them from flashing too much, being used too much. Don't forget these cars are 30 plus years old, so a lot of the electronics could actually end up being not the best of shape anymore. So I had to go in there, clean up the left side contact from all the carbon that was on it. As you can see, it's nice and shiny now, but it was black as night whenever I first took it apart. To actually put it back together, all you have to do really, it's pretty simple. Get that teeter-totter into that little divot right there. Make sure it's actually sitting in there correctly. Then line up the turn signal stock, put it back together. Put it back together. Then, easiest method, take a pair of pliers, push the rivets back down. 1, 2, and down the rest of the way, you bastard. Then it actually holds together. And as you can see, at first we got a false contact in here. Ignored this, ignore everything in here. Do not fucking touch this unless you still have the button, in which case remove the button. But yeah, now left and right side works and everything's good to go. So I hope this helps. I hope this actually, finds a bunch of people so that way they can fix this issue with these cars, because it's a very common issue for a uncommon part. There's a few people that usually have it, and well, that might have it, and honestly, if you're not in any Merkur forums, you're going to have a fun time trying to find one of these without having to go to the Euro style. So yeah, once again, this is Oddball Motors, and thank you very much. Talk at y'all later.